you're over the age of 35, stop everything you're doing right now. After a lifetime of eating fatty foods, you may run the risks of a stroke or heart attack due to plaque buildup in your veins and arteries. To learn how you can reduce your risks, visit youthfountainlab.com or call 1-800-853-7856 today. This may be a life-changing call for you or someone you love. Thank you, and we hope to hear from you.
They have to do that. Our people don't.
Saga continues. Late last night, after the Oscars were almost about to go off, everybody started getting the news. If you follow Hip Hop News Uncensored, no matter what platform, you probably seen, or anywhere you were on social media, you probably seen Will Smith get up out of his seat and actually go smack Chris Rock. Well, there's been some ramifications today, and they even been talking about today actually stripping Will Smith of his Oscar award. We'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Well, Will Smith has spoken once again. Now, we know that he gave his apology to the Oscars last night when he got his award, but he said something else, and he just put this up on his Facebook, and I want to read it to you guys and elaborate just a little bit. He goes on to say, violence in all forms is poisonous and destructive, right? My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are a part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to Chris. I was out of line, and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of a man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has been stained what has been otherwise a gorgeous journey for us all. I'm a work in progress. Sincerely, Will. Now let's peel back all these different layers, because there's a lot of different layers when you're looking at that, right? Now, we kind of flirted with the thing, the possibility earlier of maybe this being some type of staged event. And I'm really up and down. I'm really moving like 60-40 more towards stage. But as I read this, I think something deeper is going on here. Because we were talking earlier, and we simply talked about the possibility, or, it looks like a reality in some cases, that something happened to either distract or kind of get us off of the real goal. Now, it might have been nothing, a super big distraction, like they were doing something crazy over here while this is going on. It may have been something to take away the fact that Will Smith just won an award for playing Richard Williams, who, if you guys don't know, and ladies out there, right, is Serena and Venus's father, the one who pretty much molded them into the professional young women that they are today. And I think legendary. I mean, I've been watching these women play for like 20 years, and they still are at the top of their game. I mean, Venus, I think, fell back a little bit, but Serena was still at the top of her game up until like last year, and I'm sure she can still ball. So for him to play that role, this is talking about somebody self-made out of Cali. I think Compton, Crenshaw, one of them joints. Don't quote me on that, right? Out in that area, growing up with all the different distractions, keeping his daughters going back and forth, to the tennis court, honing their skills to become two of the greatest tennis players of all time, I think is something to be said. Now, I was talking earlier, and I talked about, men keeping their composure, and you get it. And maybe it could have been a lot for Will Smith at that time. He started joking about Jada and whatnot, and any snap. But I still, however cynical it may be, I kind of think that it was all kind of staged, and I think that all parties were involved in this particular staging. I just do. I just do, man. And it's just my feeling. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that, I'm not saying that it's, I hope that he smacked him. But I mean, if you feel away, if a man got to fight, a man got to fight. Now let's talk about this whole violence thing that I'm gonna get about here, right? He comes out and says violence is not cool, it's not good. But I mean, this country is notorious for violence against other countries. The only difference is they say it's in the, name of democracy and freedom. But how do we know that shit's true or not? In all cases, I mean, some cases it may be true, but we don't know that it's always true. We're kind of just taking their word for it. So obviously, people got in his ear, sponsors and things, told Will, look, you gotta fix this. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. And I think that he succumbed to it. But I'm gonna play this clip of us earlier talking about what we really think happened here. I don't want to try to go over what I said earlier. So sit back and relax. This is me and Sandman earlier on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, breaking down what we really think is going on with Will Smith, Chris Rock, and this whole situation. Other things begin to be, you know what I mean? So it's all about that, getting the algorithm moved, and now people got to tune in to some aspect of that to see exactly what happened. Like it may not be like an immediate thing, but people are now talking about it. And then you got to remember, they were just talking about boycotting these joints. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, it's like a distraction. We ain't even talking about that. And now we're talking about another black man smacking another black man because he made a corny joke about his wife. Like, dude, smashed your wife.
Oh, shit.
Smashed her. Like,
we don't know if he didn't slap him behind the scenes. We don't know what
I
happened.
mean, yeah, people say that, but he smashed your wife, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I gotta go with the fake on it, and I'm disappointed with Will. Even though I love him, I'm totally disappointed. And I'm not trying to be on Stephen A. Smith. I'm more disappointed in the fact that he would sell himself so low to make a spectacle like this. Just go get your award, bro. You ain't got to make no spectacle. You ain't got to agree to do nothing, to get ratings higher for a show that's dead in the water, bro. It's dead. Oscars is dead in the water, and Will Smith and Chris Rock just gave it life, at least for this year.
Let me ask you on some cynical shit real quick. Now you got my mind spinning, right? Did Will possibly do this because they knew he was going to get the Oscar for such a powerful role in what he played in King Richard that he had to degrade himself on national TV, all being staged in order to receive it the right way? Because if I'm not mistaken, because I didn't see the shit, did he win the Oscar immediately following that incident? I think it was right after that.
That's
shit.
What they're saying, yeah.
So let's go there.
Yeah, we gotta go there.
What do you think?
I think so. Because I mean, all the other, then it was like, that's a good point, because all the other roles we would say, how come he ain't winning for this? How come he ain't winning for that? How come black men always got to win for some crazy roles? This is a role here where it was like, okay, he ain't have to do nothing crazy. He ain't have to bend over. He ain't put on no dress. He ain't do nothing, outside of his character, to win. He did it straight up, Venus and Serena's father. Great, strong black man. So now, the night you're going to get your award, you got to throw all this away and be known now as the aggressive black man that couldn't hold his composure. Like, comedian's a comedian, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that, you should be able to sit there and they should be able to say whatever. They should be able to say, look, I fucked your wife. I got, like even how, the game was showing old DMs from 50's girl. Mm-hmm. Like, you ain't see 50 go all crazy like that and this, that, and the third. Not to say he wouldn't have did nothing if he was in his face, but
right.
he kind of kept his composure. That's what it's about. And Will Smith is, 50-something years old?
Yep.
That's what makes me just kind of lean more towards, all right, and that's a hell of a point right there.
Yeah.
That comes out of, that's a curveball, because it just goes along the line of what we've been seeing in Hollywood. Like, we just can't get it straight up. Now, this is forever going to be, something that's going to be brought up with Will Smith winning his first Oscar. He can't just enjoy that. This stain of him smacking Chris Rock is now on that. Whether it was real or fake, because nobody really knows. I just think it was fake.